Good morning, folks. It's Tim here. I normally do a Bible study every morning, and then yesterday it didn't post right. I don't know what happened, missed it, and so I reset it last night. But we were at the end of this study on barter, and so what kind of came to mind was, you know, to what degree am I, living by sight versus by faith? So that's why I have my eyes closed today. I'm trying to do this video with my eyes completely closed and see what to experience, not see what this would be like, because I can't. One of the things I always do is I'm watching the little clock at the top because I can only record a short, which is under 3 minutes. But I wanted to reflect on our study of bartering, and there was an exchange of value of this for that, and there was this exchange of in the last verse we talked about was in Hosea, where there's Hosea was instructed by God to go marry a prostitute who symbolized Israel, because they were cheating on God, and they were doing things not in God's will. And so he bought her out of that lifestyle and gave her life as a wife, elevated her to a special status of being a wife and not having to sell her body. So that was a good thing. And so there was this redemption. He paid, it wasn't cash back then, as they didn't have cash. I mean, they had coins from sometime, but most of the time they were always bartering. Like, I'll give you goats or wheat or whatever, you want stuff. We learned about Solomon, who had gave grain for timber. There's all these things, right? There's an exchange, and there's a lot of goodness that can come from the exchange of goods, because I think that when people get busy, they'll have worth, because they're producing something for a purpose beyond just themselves, and then they can do things for the people in their life, and they can do things for their community, and it creates social stability. And so I think maybe a part of that, we see that in today's society, things are a little bit askew in a lot of ways. I think it's because these signals are disrupted. And so it would be good to reflect on that. But anyways, this is interesting. I don't know how much time I've left, or if I've gone over time. I may have to chop this off mid-sentence even. I don't know. But yeah, just thinking about walking by sight and I'm not looking, so I'm trying to just